Howdy y'all, I'm PaintThatBell, and today we'll be doing Draw This Again challenge. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so a brief overview of what the Draw This Again challenge is. Basically what you do is you take an old art piece from long ago that you drew, and then you try to draw it again and see how much you improve. Well, I decided to do and take this art piece right here and draw it again. But first off, let's go ahead and point out all the things that could be better about it. I'm sure there's like a million things on here. Now what we can see here is this is an OC of mine, a rather old one that I haven't really played with in a while, but it is a rather old OC of mine, and he is holding his comatose wife. Yes. Originally he was supposed to be a scientist, but then I changed that, so this new art piece is going to be a lot different. But as you can see here, he's holding it, you see wires in the back, you can see like the fire, you can see tubes, smoke, his pained expression, and just her limp body. First off, I'm going to point out the coloring. The coloring could be better. It's not as smooth. Then again, this is traditional and it's really hard at times to make it look not grainy, but it could have been done better. Another thing is her head would have probably been more bent, because otherwise, you know, she's keeping her head up. That's an anatomical thing right there. The folding on the fabric could also be better. I mean, it's not awful, but it looks really just It doesn't have a set direction or anything like that, so it could be better. The hair could also have been better. It looks really clustered and all that. Like there's no set purpose or anything like that. The feet also, and the arms just of the wife and the hands. It could be better. So let's go ahead and try to draw this again, shall we? Okay, so first things first, what I want to point out to all of you is that recently we decided to change the character a bit. No, we didn't really make a story sketch video for it, but I mean, it would have been just one character and maybe the wife. So I didn't really think it was like story sketch material. However, the changes that we made is his profession and his backstory. His backstory is he lives in a dimension where aliens and humans are at war. He's a construction worker and works for this laboratory, making a room and whatnot. The scientists there have discovered a certain energy called dark matter, and they plan on weaponizing it. The wife goes to visit, an alien spy comes along, accidentally sabotages the machine, and literally destroys the entire dimension with dark matter. And the only reason that he survived is, well, call it dumb luck, but he got hit by enough of those rays that, and I guess it just didn't clash with his body as much, and he survived. He acted as a human shield for his wife, and that's why she's not dead and in a comatose. Now he is currently trying to keep his comatose wife alive as the only two beings left alive in that entire universe. Yeah, he's gone a little bit crazy, hopping from dimension to dimension. He's got dark matter powers, and it's a bit chaotic, which I find ironic, seeing as he's a construction worker. We love irony. We just love irony around here. We love irony. It's so... But that's what I kind of wanted to capture in this drawing. Now you can see that it looks entirely different, and the reason for that being is this is actually what I had in mind. Like when I drew this, I think I was 17 to 18. Yeah, I was 17 when I drew this. This is what I had in mind, but I couldn't find any references for it, and so I didn't know how to draw it. Now, I do know how to draw it, and I did get a reference for it. The reference being is actually from this one website called magicposer.com. If they're not sure how to draw a certain pose, well, bada bing, bada boom, there's your reference. You just gotta move it the way you want it, and you got it. But as you can see, I actually decided to change the smoke and change all of that, and it just looks really different. Working on the inking first and foremost, as we always do. I decided to put in some solid black, like entire black spots for like a lot of shadows, just because it really added mood and the ambiance, and it really would contrast with the highlights. And then what we decided to do for the hair was, I won't lie, I kind of wanted it to be messy, so I kind of just winged it. I really like how the hair turned out, honestly. It's fun. It's a fun touch. The clothing, I decided to keep the same green dress just to pay homage to the old original one. It's really fun. The green dress is fun. But the husband holding the wife is completely different because, you know, he's a construction worker. So you can see he's wearing jeans, but you can't see much else, and that's because a lot of the shadows is where that hit, so you really wouldn't be able to see the shirt. Working on the background now, you can tell that I really didn't want to get too detailed on the smoke, just because that's not where all the main focus would be. And, well, besides, it's smoke, just leave it be. Now, the explosion, however, is where we put most of the attention on. I mean, it's really fun, the explosion. I looked up a tutorial on how to draw it, and I don't know who did it, just because I found it on Pinterest, and Pinterest is always a give or take if they include where it actually is, because they could find it from someone who actually stole it or whatever. So it's a tricky thing. But I'll try and link it, if I can, down in the description below. The explosion's really fun. Up next, we color the rest of the drawing, and, well, there's not much to say except paying attention to the light sources, which would come from the direction of the explosion, which is kind of like this overhead lighting to the side, and it just really makes the drawing pop, because that's where it lights up. It's all this and that. And the lightning, again, I looked up another tutorial. I'm sorry, I don't know how to draw everything, and whatever will happen if don't know how to draw everything. Oh, the shame. Yes, I looked up a tutorial. I did choose different colors and whatnot, so it is different and all that, and I'm pretty sure the tutorial uses like Photoshop or something similar, which I don't have. So I had to make do with what we have, which is Corel Painter Essentials 5. It works, and I'm not going to replace it with overpriced Photoshop, so yeah. I'm gonna enjoy Corel while it lasts. But that is the Draw This Again challenge. So let's put it side by side for comparison, and you could tell the differences itself. Obviously, first and foremost is the posing, the lighting, and it's crazy how, like, just 2 years alone. Is it 2 years? No, it's 3 years. 3 years and some change alone makes such a difference in someone's art if they've, been practicing enough and working on their art style and learning enough. It makes such a difference, and I absolutely love this. But that's going to have to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching it. Please subscribe and do all the YouTube related things. I'll see all my crazy creatives later.